All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rubber City Throwdown. Woo!
Dude, I have been missing all of my MMA buddies. I am so... Like, we had big dog boxing that we did not too long ago. But, you know, we had a lot of great fights on that one. But it's just been so down in the dumps for MMA right now.
Yeah, it's been pretty dry, man. There is a huge dry spell in MMA. At least MMA, like local mixed martial arts in the Northeast region. I know that there were some, like one or two promotions that fought at some point in Ohio. We just don't cover those. So, but as far as like Honor Fighting Championship, Cage Thunder, you know, that was just a dry spell. There just wasn't anything going on. As far as like Honor goes, I know Jeremy has had a pretty rough go about it, having to deal with the death of his wife, which, you know, is
our hearts go out to him.
Heart go out. Melanie was a huge part of the Honor Fighting Championship crew.
Oh my God,
And she's the one who cut our checks, man.
Oh yeah,
You
well,
know,
not only
was
that,
at
dude.
every single show her and Michelle, were the ones that wrote the checks. But I remember like one of my first memories of Melanie was going up. It was like our first show, and
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm gonna go up and get. I know it was our second. I think our second show.
Yeah, it was our
get
second show,
paid, and
yeah.
I went up. No, was it third show? Third time the charm. It was because it was a Summit County Fairground. That's right.
Right.
And, I walked up and I was like, I need to get paid, and she was like, nope. And like, cause I didn't know her very well,
Right.
it completely threw me off guard, and I just kind of stood there like, and I didn't actually
She
know
laughed.
if she was serious, like, hey, we're not paying you today, we'll pay you next week or something,
Right.
or if she was like, you know, just joking. But she was just joking. You know, spoiler
Dude,
alert.
I'll tell you what, man. That woman never had a frown on her face. As much stress that goes into putting in that a promoter and his wife puts into a promotion, she always was happy. She was always able to get Jeremy back up to his normal, energetic, hey man, let's go and do this shit, man. This is awesome. This is gonna be the greatest ever. Always kept a smile on her face, never was down. She was one of the greatest hype men of MMA, I have to say.
She was one hell of a fighter too. She had been battling cancer for a very long time, and finally succumbed to it. And you know, I believe she went peacefully, and I think they had her in hospice. And I know that Jeremy was, you know, dealing with other stuff too.
Oh man, all the other things that Jeremy is going through right now, on top of Melanie, you know, I couldn't be that guy. I don't know if I would be able to. You know, most people would just lay down and say, you know what, fuck all of you. I'm done with you. I'm dealing with something else. I got to go bye-bye for a while. But he's not.
Yeah. And a part of me thinks too that might be a reason why, part of the reason why MMA kind of took a dive in the last few months, because I know he was set up to have they wanted to do a show because the Nautica was such a huge success.
Oh yeah, it was.
So they wanted to get right back into it September, October at the latest, and then, you know, kind of keep the momentum going, and then they couldn't, or they didn't. They chose not to. Conflicting schedules, because they're also Cage Thunder and Honor. They're you know, they kind of have to meet halfway.
Right, right.
Scott Corbin matches for both promotions, so you don't want to have like a debacle like they had last April.
Right, where they had Cage Thunder and
a week apart.
Right, and then there was no fighters because you had Cage Thunder going out. They're on 30-day hiatus.
And I know back then Scott didn't have enough time to actually put together that. I mean, he didn't have enough time. It was very difficult for him to do it. Whereas in the upcoming months, there's actually two shows in February, one for Honor and Cage Thunder. That it was actually Scott's idea to put it together, because now he's got months to get ahead of the card,
right.
So it's going to work out.
And not only that, there's so many months in between, so then he's not going to have to worry about any of the fighters being on 30-day hiatus or 30-day suspensions or anything like that. Everybody's going to be outside.
Just not even. I don't even think he's going to have to worry about that.
Or 30 or 90 days. 90 days.
Well, it just depends on the it depends on the outcome of the fight, really.
How did you lose?
But no, yeah. So they wanted to keep the momentum going. They chose not to do a show in September, October. When then Jarvis, turned around and was like, "Oh well, shit. Now I
want to do.
I could have done it. And I didn't do it. So then he ended up doing the Big Dog Boxing, which was October 27th, which we had the opportunity.
Oh man, that was fun.
That show, which was it's such a good show too. It was at Springfield High School.
I did not expect Springfield High School to be as fun as it was, because you think about it being at a school and you're like, oh god, can't smoke, you can't do anything.
It makes perfect sense, to be honest. For a boxing, you see a lot of combat sports, taekwondo and traditional karate and martial arts. They have kickboxing, they do their competitions in gymnasiums. So, hell, Golden Gloves, there's been Golden Glove competitions that have been held in a gymnasium as well. I don't think I've ever really been a part of an MMA promotion that did an MMA fight or an MMA show in a gymnasium, but no, it wasn't too crazy.
No, it wasn't.
It was a fun event, and there was the thing that really made me smile is how many MMA fighters
were doing
doing boxing, including a couple. I know one of them, at least one, and KO Butler, who's actually fighting on this upcoming card that we're gonna kind of quickly and briefly go over in today's podcast. So, but no, again, my heart goes out to Jeremy. And
Rubber City Throwdown owes a lot to Jeremy Caudell and Jeremy Caudell Productions.
And I just want him to know, because I know he's gonna watch the podcast. I know he's gonna listen to it. Yeah. We're in your corner. We're with you.
And little Jeremy,
we're thinking about you. I called him. I remember calling him. I say, man, I'm not gonna say much. I just want to say I'm sorry. And leave it at that. But we're thinking about you. We're always thinking about you.
And always remember, we have 2 spots on this table that is always available to you and little Jeremy anytime you guys want to come out here.
Well, he wants to come on. He's got some venting that he needs to do.
Which that's what we're here for.
We're going to give him the platform like we give everybody a platform. So
we love you guys. We love you a lot. We hope the best.
Yeah, we've got, besides the dry spell, besides the dry spell in MMA, and the reason why we haven't really been doing many podcasts, lack of content purposes.
We've been busy.
Yeah, we have been busy.
We've been real busy. Like, we've been working in tandem with Brian Clark and Apex Fight Systems, trying to help him out a little bit, and he's helping us out.
Yeah, we were supposed to be moving the studio over to Apex Gym, and
unfortunately, Brian's not going to be able to be with us today. He's feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah, Brian he's lost his voice. They've got practice tonight, but you don't necessarily need a voice to run a practice either. So
yeah, it's all sign language,
But we got because they got KO who's fighting for Apex on this upcoming card. So,
which we had a lot of Apex guys fighting for Big Dog too.
Well, yeah, we had Tony Lichtenberger. I know on the card they had Lichtenberg, and it kind of threw me off. George Pointer.
Fuck yeah.
And KO Butler.
Yeah. We had, unfortunately, it wasn't a good day.
Tyron Reed.
Yeah, we had Tyron. Oh, I was trying to figure out what his name was. I'm thinking about it. I was like, what is the guy that normally I don't see? It's Tyron Reed. But, unfortunately, it wasn't a great day for boxing for Apex. We only had one win come out of it, but it was still a win regardless.
I said it's one thing that I've learned about the whole amateur boxing scene is one of the big reasons why I'm not really interested in doing it. It's just a glorified tough man competition. It's not so much boxing until you get your record to a point where like the rounds actually make it into a boxing match. Like for instance, my first one was just 3 1-minute rounds. That's a tough man competition. That's not skill. It's how good a shape are you and how much volume can you throw in 1 minute or a total of 3 minutes. And most of those fights they won't end in a knockout or anything. It's always a decision. There's so many decisions in those amateur boxing matches, and hell, even if you kick it up to 2 minutes, you can slow the pace down a little bit, which is awesome in a 2-minute boxing match. Which that's when it starts becoming a little bit more of a boxing.
Right.
You know, and then you got like the 90 seconds. Some of them do 90 seconds. Again, 90 seconds is how many punches can you throw?
Right. In a minute and a half.
So, but we had some really good fights with Big Dog. Like, hell, I know the main event of Big Dog was
that was actually pretty good.
it was a Ben Control
Yep.
from it was a T County. He was from T County.
Yeah, T County, and then
And I'm trying to just remember this. It was a guy from Strong Style, Anthony Costello or something. I can't even.
Castile, I think it was.
But that dude won a belt the next week. Like
Last week?
It wasn't. Sorry, man. Who am I thinking of? No, Anthony. That's the guy who fought Tony. Because he won.
Wasn't there
belt.
a Mies that fought?
Well, yeah,
that was Justin
Ty Mies.
Mies.
But no,
Forgive us.
Who am I thinking of?
I'm trying to
for
pull
the
it
main
up.
event. I know it was Ben Control. I can't remember the Strong Style fighter that he fought. It just is killing me too because the guy was a hell of a fighter. But no, Anthony, the guy the first guy that I had mentioned, which is wrong. He didn't fight Ben Control. He actually fought Tony Lichtenberger. He won the title that night for Big Dog, and then went to Kincaid, I think, the following week, like the next week, and then won that one. He won a belt. So he won like 2 belts in a matter of like a week and a half or some shit.
Right.
But regardless.
Is that KO right there?
Who?
I think this is KO.
Well, I want to know because I can't see your phone.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get the damn picture to show up. It won't show up. But anyways,
But no.
apparently the Big Dog Boxing's Facebook page, man, they put pie on shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Makes me hungry.
Right.
No, it's not KO. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the fight card.
Regardless to the
You guys have to give us a break here.
if you guys want to see the main event, go to our page. It's under Big Dog Boxing in Akron, Ohio. You could actually watch the main event. For the life of me, can't remember who actually
we
fought
normally have a better diligence taking care of the fight cards and everything else, and we normally keep one, but we haven't. It's unorthodox for us not to do a card rundown after the fight, and that's what happened. We're a week off.
We don't. We just start covering boxing, and there's a lot of unknown names for us.
I can't find
may not be unknown to everybody else, but there's a lot of unknown names to us. When it comes to the boxing community, that's why the only fighters that I actually know from that boxing event are the MMA fighters. So,
right,
and that's not a big deal. Let's say we're not here to talk about the Big Dog Boxing Show anyway. We were just kind of
not this week, no. But we do have something big coming up. We have a little bit of something that we're going to be dipping our toes into, and I'm excited for.
Well, yeah, we actually get to go and record our first show.
Hell yeah.
And got a new camera rig that's coming in.
We got new batteries.
We've got 2 new backdrops. I think we're only going to utilize one of them. We got a 10x10 moon shape. It's like a half moon shape, solid black Velcro backdrop that we're going to use for the interviews.
I know that does not mean KO is going to be dropping trow and just showing his ass at the damn camera.
And then, so we're all gonna do all the pre-fight interviews for Cage Thunder now, because for you who don't know, we've already made the announcement a couple months ago. But yeah, we did pick up Cage Thunder as another sponsor for Rubber City Throwdown, just like Honor.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing both Cage Thunder and Honor shows.
This summer is going to be fucking hell. I'm telling you.
Year, I mean, Jeremy alone is trying to do like 9 shows.
He's already got them set up. He's got the money ready, and he's got the setup posted. And he said, "We're looking for 9. We're looking for 9 more next year."
I mean, granted, take it how you want, take it with a grain of salt, however you want. I mean, you can say you want to do 9 shows, but until it's shown,
it could go any which way. We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. And
I do know for sure that the first and officially the first Honor show of 2019 will be January 19th.
Dude.
So that's
actually kind of cool. 1/19/19.
Right. So.
Dude, we're going to be 32 years old or 31 years old.
I'm already 31.
Yeah, fuck off, dude. You're gonna be 32 next year.
But no, so the lineup that we have in 2019 that we're looking at here is like January 19th. We got Honor. February 2nd, Cage Thunder, and then it's like the end of February, we've got another honor show, and then they're just going.
Okay, yeah, because we're gonna have an honor show, Cage Thunder in between, honor show, Cage Thunder in between.
That's basically what it's coming down to. So we're gonna double the amount.
Dude, we're gonna have so much fun
this year, and for next year. So yeah, it's gonna be great. The amount of content that's gonna be, it's all doubled.
And that does not mean that we're gonna be having all this fun. That means you as our fans are going to have even more fun. There's gonna be a week, maybe a week and a half in between new content rolling out. We're gonna have new information for the new fighters. We're gonna have more debut fights for 2 different organizations. So that means that we're going to be spanning out a lot.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. I'm excited.
And I mean, we're also covering Big Dog Boxing, which is a sister promotion to
Cage Thunder.
Well, no, it's Jarvis who's running it. Randy Jarvis Jr. and Senior both run Cage Thunder and Big Dog Boxing. So naturally, if we're going to cover Cage Thunder, we're also going to cover Big Dog Boxing as well. I just don't think that we're going to do the pre-fight interviews for the boxing.
Right.
Boxing is a very fast-paced environment. I mean, we're
not going to be
fight, go.
Dude, we went
through
through what, 13 fights? Was it 13 or 15? It was 15 fights on that card because there was 16. And they dropped off.
There was more than that, I think, originally. But, they dropped it
quick. They got them done. We got in there at, 5:45? Fights started at 7.
Yeah.
I think.
We were out by
9.
Was it 9?
It was 9:45 when we left.
I mean, that's good. But that's the thing. It's the fast pace.
Right.
Whereas MMA,
because it was early enough for me to be able to go home, still have a couple of beers with Amber, and let the dogs out.
Right.
And nobody be.
I mean, not to mention too, like you have with MMA, a lot of our interviews that we do with these fighters take place in the morning.
Oh yeah.
At their weigh-ins, boxing, they weigh in at like 4:30.
How are we looking for pro fights? Oh, Cage Thunder doesn't do pros.
Yeah, they do. They are doing pros this time.
They are.
Yes.
I thought they didn't do pros.
They may not have done any last year, to my knowledge, but yeah, they're doing pros. And you got to think too. Like I think Randy Jarvis also was a part of Cage Madness. And they did pros.
Okay, yeah, they did it pro-am cards.
So they're gonna dip their hand in to the pro-am. And I honestly, I think a big reason why this one is being a pro-am
is because
it may
of honor.
It just may be because there isn't anything going on right now.
Right.
As far as MMA goes.
Well, see, here's a funny little snippet, and I'll try and make this brief. Okay. So my fiance was talking to my mother yesterday. And they're trying to get everything taken care of about, getting a list together for Thanksgiving. And my mom, who also enjoys MMA, not just because me and Norm are, doing this kind of thing, but, our moms are pretty much like his mom's like my mom's like his mom, and vice versa. So it's kind of funny that my mom says to everybody on the phone, she goes, well, why would they want to do a card the day before Thanksgiving? Wouldn't it make more sense to do it the day after Thanksgiving? That way everybody doesn't have to be in the hectic frame of mind of trying to get things together. I said to my mom, I immediately said, hell fucking no. Because this way they don't have to worry. None of the fighters have to worry about cutting weight. They don't have to stare at the fucking the Thanksgiving table all damn morning going, oh my God, I just want some of that pie.
Oh, it's hard to actually get fight. I mean, and it's not like they do this every year. There's always like a day before Thanksgiving show, but there are fighters who will complain and like, no, you're doing a show the day before Thanksgiving because it's not on a weekend.
Well, yeah, it's a weekday.
It's not on a Saturday. This is on it's like a Wednesday,
right?
So a lot of guys who have work issues and they can't do it, but hey, you can't do it. Step aside because there are fighters out there that'll take this fight and. It goes to show when we run down this card here in a minute.
There are plenty of fighters that don't give a shit right now.
This is a hell of a card, man. They're already sold out. Now, granted, they're sold out too, largely in part because they're having it at the American Legion.
That's what it was.
Located at 1945 Margaret Road in Kent, Ohio. And Kent, Ohio. Technically, it is Kent.
No, it is Kent. It's not where I thought it was. No? It's not where, no.
Okay.
You go over towards 261.
Okay, so a little bit further down.
Yeah, a little bit further down. But it's still not that far.
But this card is This card is beautiful. It is.
Yeah, dude. I was looking at it, got a half chub over it, dude.
There's a lot of familiar names, and there's some guys that are like.
Am I allowed to say that? Half chub.
Half chub. Dude, you've been dropping the F-bomb this whole time. Why would you? We ain't censored. But for instance, like the first fight we got here, we got Tristan Constant, familiar face.
Yes,
covered him like 2 or 3
love
times
Tristan.
already.
Awesome
He's
guy,
fighting,
very humble.
He's fighting a Joe Chamara, who's making his debut.
Yes.
So, and then we've got guys like Eddie Finner. Flinner. I said Finner. Flinner.
We're going to get you fucking contacts.
Well, no, it's just the way my phone was. He's making his debut.
Do you want to borrow mine?
The guy that is fighting, Lawrence O'Malley.
Yes.
Who's making his debut. That's a welterweight debut.
Yes.
So we've got guys, we got familiar faces, and then we have guys that...
Now, mind you, Eddie Flinner's has a camp, and his camp is Common Ground Grappling Club.
Right. Which is Jose and Brian Berkeley's
just getting ready to say
new
that.
place that they have in Nashville, Ohio.
Nashville, Ohio?
Yeah. I said I was going to leave it at Nashville, and then I want people to be like, Tennessee? What?
Right.
No, it's Ohio. But
I was so upset.
which they just can't. They were at Lucas Mast, just fought KO.
Right.
Boxing.
Yeah.
At Springfield High School, the Big Dog Boxing, and Lucas ended up beating KO. Unanimous decision.
It was on points.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, he did win the fight.
No, he did. He totally won the fight. I watched it. It happened.
It's going to be really interesting, though. Yeah, I mean, it's. I said one of the many debuts that I actually look forward to seeing, because when you see a guy that's coming out of Common Ground, man, who trains with those group of guys, man, you're curious. You kind of go, I want to.
I mean, Jose,
what's going on.
Jose does a thing with his fighters, man, that it's just not. It's not seen everywhere, and he does a great job at what he does, and it's great to see. We love to see that kind of shit.
And we got.
I was upset to find out that this is not happening.
Yeah, the Fred Davis fight. Fred and Marvin. I mean, I get it. Fred just found out that his wife's pregnant with twins. And she, to my knowledge, apparently has her tubes tied.
There's money in there.
There's got to be, right?
There's totally money. They can sue the doctors that did it.
That's the myth, right? That's the myth. Like, there's people out there that go, oh, yeah, you could sue if you end up getting pregnant. Then there's people, well, no, you signed a paper, like a disclaimer, basically.
It depends on what kind of tubal that she had.
Yeah,
if she had a snip and clip and burn, then that means that she can't have babies. But if she had her tubes tied,
yeah, I really don't know.
Then there's a possibility. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor.
There was also a report coming out that his doctor actually had been recommending to him for a while now that he probably should pack it up. He's got I think he's got nerve damage in his arm. His arm keeps going numb.
Yeah.
And his doctor's like, hey man, I think you need to go ahead and calm it down a little bit. And I think his wife, the pregnancy of his wife, I think that kind of like.
I mean, kids throttle you back anyways. I mean, once you start finding out that you're having kids.
I don't know if, I mean, let's say Fred's 42 years old. I don't know if he has kids already. And this is kind of like oh shit.
I mean, look at Fred. I would imagine he has kids.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not new to him.
He's a sexy motherfucker. He's going to have kids.
But yeah, unfortunately, I was looking forward to that fight, even though Fred
No
really
homo.
doesn't want nothing to do with us anymore.
It's all right. He probably won't watch this anyways. Even though that we're pretty much sucking his dick right now.
I'm not sucking his dick.
I'm not either, but.
Anyway, let's move up to a fight that's actually happening. We got Clayvon Hill and Byron Norwood, and both fighters.
Middleweight, 185.
Yeah, both fighters are undefeated, 2-0, and Byron, he's fighting. He's coming out of strong style. So again, it's going to be
great.
Strong style fighters they always bring it. They're always ready to go. They got a good camp, strong coaches, a lot of people train there. So it's always.
I don't believe there's going to be a stage for people.
Expect a lot of good shit. Always expect a lot of good stuff.
They got some rowdy fans though.
What, strong style?
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of fans, so like.
You got some rowdy fans. I'm glad. You know what? I'll bring the what is it called? Spectrum analyzer? No, spectrometer? Whatever it is. Anyways, it measures the amount of noise inside of a room by decibels. It's a decimeter.
You don't fucking look at me. I don't know the name of that shit.
Yeah, we
and
know.
Then we had this fight was actually Christian Wentz versus Corey Wheeler. Now Corey, he injured. He's no longer fighting in this fight. I just got the go ahead from Scott that Christian is actually fighting James Baldridge.
Is it?
Yeah, James Baldridge. So that fight, and I'm glad Christian gets he's still fighting.
Right.
You know, that fight isn't completely out of the works. So, and I don't know much about James Baldridge, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I was going to ask
something that when we do the show next week, we do Fight Week MMA, Fight Week podcast, and we actually hit these when we go into these fights a little bit more in more detail. Then we'll have a little bit more information on James as a fighter, where camp, all that good stuff is.
And we'll also have Brian back here to be able to give us any kind of insight on certain things.
Yeah. And then we've got Josh Kissinger and Jason Beverly. And we've actually covered Jason a while back. I mean, like
it was probably Honor.
No, it wasn't Honor. It was not Honor. It was RFO.
Was it RFO?
Was like it was. It was Cage Madness. I think it was Cage Madness.
Yeah, it was Cage Madness.
It was in our first year, but he's 3-6, and then he's going up against a Josh Kissinger who's a 2-1. So this is going to be an interesting lightweight fight.
Yeah,
and then Steve Williams, Tony Tucker, good bantamweight matchup, 3-1 versus 2-0.
Wow,
Luke Chokin.
Hey, there he is.
And then Carson Mills.
Dude, Chokin was the last time we covered Chokin was his win.
I think it's Chokin.
No, it's Chokon. Chokon.
I don't know. Fuck.
We'll make it sound really fancy for him. Chokon.
But that's going to be a really good, high-paced fight, man. Those guys they're going to bring.
Yeah, I think he's coming off of a win.
2-0 versus a 3-2, and then we got Max Mies versus a Jesse Hinderman out of West Virginia, and this is going to be interesting because you got Jesse, who's he's undefeated. And he's got 2 wins via submission that have ended very fast, very quick. And then you've got Max Mies with a 4-1 record. Now, I believe Max is coming off of a loss, and I think that loss was against a very, very talented wrestler out of Aries. I think it was Mike Walters that Max fought and lost to.
Wow, his profile picture is way back at Big Guns 22.
Who?
Max Mies.
Who did he fight?
I don't know. But it says RFO, Big Guns 22.
Oh, his picture.
I said his profile picture.
Oh. Yeah, I don't give a shit. But no, that's going to be a very interesting fight because Max is a very tough opponent. And then you got Jesse Hinderman who's coming in undefeated, 2 first-round submission victories. And
then we have the Butler.
We got KO Butler, Chase Boyd.
That's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a good fight. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen both. I've trained with KO and I've seen footage of Chase fight. Mm-hmm. So Chase is a very not much of a striker. Kind of. I think the one fight that I seen, he kind of came out with like this Muay Thai type of style of stance. I was I got a leg up. I don't know. But then the other fight that I saw, he wasn't much of a striker, but he just kept taking the guy on the ground, man. He's got really good takedowns.
Really good grappling skills.
He's good. He's good at keeping you there.
Okay.
From what I've seen, so
he's able to grab a hold and lock it in and keep you right where you want him. That's awesome.
Just checking the time.
No, you just wanted to get it all up into the camera.
One of my close-up.
And it's time. But no, and then we've got another great guy that we've covered multiple times.
This fight's not happening. Just want to throw that out there. George
You didn't
Pointer.
tell me that.
George Pointer. That's why you got to wait for me to cue in, because you don't know what fights I've got. Don't just assume that every single fight on here is good to go, man.
You only told me about the one. There's communication. There's a lack of communication.
I told you George wasn't fighting way before the podcast.
You gotta remind me of this shit.
Don't pay attention.
Anyway, no, I do.
So, the George Pointer, which really sucks. I'm really actually disappointed.
Yeah,
really disappointed that this fight is not happening because these guys were talking so much shit.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Back and forth on social media. The amount of shit talk that these guys had, and then like the plans that we had for them. And it was like, hey, we'll just sell some tickets for the promotion, and these guys are gonna be, this dude's coming from West Virginia,
Right.
and his fans, and then Georgia's fans, but then didn't selling out tickets anyway for this venue, so because this is a big card,
Right.
but luckily, the guy who stepped in to take Georgia's place is none other than Chris Miles.
No.
So you got Huntington, West Virginia,
Right.
coming in,
Wow.
fighting Donovan, who is I believe he's around the Parkersburg,
Yeah.
West Virginia, and this is going to be and they were actually scheduled to fight each other in West Virginia at one point. So it's not like I was under the impression that these two have trained together,
Right.
or did train together at one point. No, they were actually scheduled to fight each other at one point. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup too. This is gonna be a fun fight, man, and because Chris, I know Chris always comes. He
You
brings
did
it.
tell me about Georgia not fighting.
You still on that?
Dude, I don't like to be misinformed because it's my normal.
Well, George ended up getting injured.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I
his
forgot.
ribs are all kinds of messed up. And then, but moving on,
We got our buddy.
This fight is going to be very. This is going to be a high. This fight is either going to go the distance or it's going to end in the first, man. You got Mo Miller, who's 4-0. You got Canyon Tackett, who's 2-0.
Right. These are great featherweight guys too.
These guys are good, man.
I mean,
they're fast, they're strong, they're hungry.
We've seen Mo Miller fight quite a few times.
Yeah, I think it was like the last Cage Thunder show.
No, it wasn't.
The last Cage Thunder, both of these guys fought, I believe, on the same card.
Yeah.
Tackett came off. Obviously they both came off a win, but Mo Miller, I believe, is still training at Strong Style, and but his team is listed as Team Mo. So I really don't know. We'll have to catch up with Miller and ask him how his training regimen is and what camp he's with now and all that good stuff. And then moving up, this is going to be another good one. I think a lot of people are not really paying attention to this fight like they should, but Braden Liggett versus Justin Patterson, man. Patterson coming in undefeated 3-0, and Liggett, I mean, we've seen Liggett on multiple occasions.
Oh yeah, 4-1 record right now. He's battle tested. I'll tell you that.
He's definitely battle tested, and he just went through a hell of a war at Nautica.
Yes, he did
against Lucas. So you're interested. He's coming off of a loss, so you're gonna have to ask yourself, like, how hungry is he? Is he motivated? How did he deal with that loss? And what's he going to bring to the table against another good fighter, Justin Patterson? So
I mean, being up against an undefeated fighter, you're always going to go into the fight going, oh shit, this guy obviously has something that he's going to have to prove because he doesn't want to have that scratch on his record. So Justin Patterson is going to come in there and he's going to be hungry. He's going to show fire, and like you said, Braden Liggett's going to have to bring that to the cage.
Right. And then moving on to the pros, we got Chad Kelly and Marcus Allen. And again, we actually the Butcher, we've covered him. I think it was like Operation Shockwave. I think we saw Kelly coming in with a 2-3 record. I believe he's a Strong Style still. And they got Mark Salins coming in on 1-2. So this is gonna make for a very hungry fight as well. And then the main event, and as Jeffrey Pelton and Jacob Miller. And we got Pelton as a 5-2. I believe he's at Strong Style as well. And then we got an undefeated Jacob Miller. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. And we're actually trying to get Pelton on the podcast. Going to try to aim for next week. Actually, I got to get in contact with Jarvis because I know that
Jarvis Jr.
wanted to come on the podcast, and I'd really like to get him on here before, for Fight Week podcast. That'd be a great time to get him on here. So then we're going to reach out to him and see if he actually wants to get on this card.
Yeah, he said that he was actually pretty good friends with him.
Right.
So it shouldn't be hard. He wants to bring him on.
It'd be a great opportunity for us, not only us, but for him as well.
Right.
Get on here and talk a little MMA and talk about his upcoming fight. So
hell yeah. But that's the card. That's the card for Cage Thunder.
And like I said, we're gonna go through we're gonna go a little bit more in depth, a little bit more in detail, come Fight Week podcast. I don't want to get, you don't want to get too involved right now. But
yeah, there's still a week left.
Just to kind of get it out there and let everybody know this is the card right now. And this is, unless there's no other fights that are supposed to be added. I think there's one other professional fight that I believe Scott was looking to pair someone up with, but we're not going to mention any of that right now because we don't know if that's actually going to happen. So I don't expect anything to be added to this card. And if a fight does fall off, it's going to happen within the next week or the day of the show.
Right.
So basically,
the weigh-ins are the worst.
Yeah, definitely. The way the card is shaping up right now, basically, is how you see it. So this is a hell of a card.
I can't wait, dude. I'm excited.
I'm excited just to get back into it, man. I get back into the environment.
See, and that's what I was trying to tell you.
Some fights, man. So,
and that's what I was trying to tell you earlier was that we were getting all it's monotonous. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to do, and then Fight Week happens.
Right.
Or the 2 weeks before Fight Week. And then it's all of a sudden that flame's just like got kerosene pulled on it. And now you're just like, oh, yes, please. I just want to go hump the cage or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you took it to a different place.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I did not. There's plenty of people out there that I'm going to hope that I'm not the only person. But I am.
Well, listen, that's about it for us. That's about all the time we have. But I want to keep this short. And
if you see us out there, please come out, shake our hands, tell us that you love the show. Something.
And if you're a fighter and you've happened to make it this far, listening to the podcast, realistically, nobody typically will listen to the whole thing.
Right.
A select few. But if you happen to make it this far, listen, if you're a fighter, reach out to us, send us a message, schedule an online interview. We'll do a Skype overlay or a Discord overlay interview with you right on the spot, man. We've done it for a few fighters already. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's a way for you to get on the show without having to, come all the way out to Akron. If you live, 2, 3, 4 hours away, or you live in a different state, hit us up. I'd be more than happy to do a Skype overlay or a Discord overlay interview with you guys.
Or hell, even if it's the fact that you're training, and we understand, camp gets hectic, dude. Do it through your fucking camp. If you've got like 25 minutes before you got to be inside the gym, we can do it right on your phone, right there. Discord, download the app, or Skype, download the app.
Every single overlay interview that we've done so far, everyone's always used their phone. Every single one has used their phone. It works fine. And if you have a computer with a webcam and a mic, hey, that works even better too.
Yeah.
So definitely hit us up.
We've always got time for you.
If you're a coach, if you're a promoter, hit us up. I'd love to talk to you guys. If you're a matchmaker, hit me up. I'd love to talk to you as well.
Oh yeah.
So we're here. We give you a platform, and
we'll give you a hug. We'll cry with you if you need a shoulder.
Until next time, guys.
Later.